Hey friends, Little Frodo over on the GRB Snark Backup Reddit has found another interesting trove of emails that we're going to check out here. And like I said before, I'm not going to show them on screen. I'm not sure why I'm getting AI flagged for reuse content and no one else is, but I'm trying to be extra careful. So I'm going to drop a link in the description. If anyone wants to read along, you'll be able to easily find it. So the first email we have here appears to be from a random supporter who's pissed off that they emailed Gypsy and sent her some stamp money. I guess that's something that they need for emails, and Gypsy never responded. So the incoming email says, "You are a fake ass bitch. I supported you and sent you some of my stamps, and your greedy, killing your mama ass never responded. You are pathetic." And Gypsy responds to them and says, "Hey, that was extremely rude and uncalled for. I'm sorry if I didn't respond to you because I have a life. I don't sit around here doing nothing, responding to emails all damn day. I go to school and have a job. I have responsibilities that come first. Like I said to another girl who bitched at me for not replying, I apologize for my lack of a response, but this is the situation. I have my close friends whom I trust and I keep to them. And by the way, fuck you for bringing my mom and crime into your hate mail. Hashtag haters can kiss my ass." That's hilarious, y'all. She says, "I don't sit around here doing nothing but responding to emails all damn day." Oh, I think we can see from these files that, no, she didn't exactly sit around responding to emails all damn day, but she was definitely sending them, usually obsessively stalking her exes, quote unquote. And now this one, I don't know who this is from. They call her Gyps, and I know Kian calls her Gyps too, but I don't think this is him. It says, "Hey, Gyps, I hope everything is well in there. I know it can't be easy, at least it's not forever. I don't know if it's something you want kept secret, but did you get pregnant with blank? I saw a son of blank mother. He'd be about 4, right? And crazy resemblance. He looks just like you. I'm sure that's enough tougher. And I know it may have not been something you wanted, but you should connect with him someday. I had twin boys a few years back and I was not ready for two, so they were adopted, and it hurts every day. But I wouldn't have forgiven myself if I had not kept up with how they are. If you don't want to write back, I understand, but I know there are so many people out here rooting for you. I hope you have a good day. Stay strong." Okay, so our context clues there are this would have had to have been someone who Gypsy was seeing well before the murder, because she would have had to have had time to give birth before the murder, before she went prison, by what this person is assuming. So there's someone that Gypsy saw enough. I know we've all been kind of wondering whether or not her and Dan ever consummated, but there has to have been someone that she did who either was Dan or somebody else around that time period, is all I'm saying, for people to even think that. So Gypsy answers, and there's a lot of interesting stuff here in her answers too, because we all know that she has went back and forth on whether or not Nick did or didn't grape her, whether they even actually had sex, because sometimes she says he couldn't get it up, sometimes she says it was grape, and she's claimed since she got out a few times that she was basically a virgin, and then other times she's claimed different things. So this email says, "Hello, Blank. To answer your question, I can honestly say I have never been pregnant with Blank's child or any other man. Blank and I had protected sex only a handful of times, and considering that he never climaxed during, it is impossible for me to have gotten pregnant. I know that Blank has a 12-year-old brother that resembles Blank quite a bit. Have a good day. Smile." So yeah, I have no idea, y'all. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments, friends. Okay, and then we've got one where she's talking about Once Upon a Time, I think again. She says, "Belle and Rumple are my favorite couple as well." Smile. "The guy who plays Henry when he is all grown up in the last season looks just like my ex-fiance, Blink. LOL, I missed a season or two because I was in jail and didn't have a TV to watch it, so I'm sure I missed out on some things. But season 1 I've seen over and over." Smile. "I'm still waiting on my happy ending. I know it will come in time." I never judge anyone about anything, not a disability, not someone's color, backgrounds, or religious beliefs. I think when it all boils down to it, cut us and we all bleed red. We are the same. No one should be judged for things out of our control. My title, my brand mark, is the title of murderer. It is I who should thank you for your kindness. Smile. Oh my god, we've seen her judge people for so much, y'all. Remember when she said that she would never do OnlyFans because she's a classy lady and that, she would never work at Hooters or anything like that. She judges people all the time. She certainly judges people who don't believe her story. We know that for dang sure. But then it's also interesting that she says, "My title, my brand mark is the title of murderer." She should have stuck to that narrative because whenever she come out and immediately went on the Vile Files and said, "I don't identify as a murderer," that's honestly when a lot of people turn against her. I don't know that the anti-Jib community would be what it is now if she hadn't said that, if she would have come out and said, "Yep, I'm a murderer," among many, many other mistakes that she made. But yeah, what do y'all think? Okay, now I am positive is between her and Fancy. So this is Gypsy writing to Fancy, I'm pretty sure. Pretty positive. Y'all will see why. I would like a copy of this contract I have signed mailed to me. I do not remember signing one, and if I did, in fact, sign to a legally binding contract, I did not read it. Therefore, I did not know my obligations. I also would like to inquire as to if and how can blank or my father be sued for any breach of contract when it is my actions and comment that supposedly breach contract? It was also passed along to me that there is an attorney specifically for by proxy. Can I speak with him or her? I admit I was wrong for sending Blank those emails. I knew she would post them, but I probably underestimated her overall hatred for everyone involved in this case. So she, of course, has to go further, and then a small squabble between you and I. If you promise to be respectful to me with regards with my relationship, sticking to no comment in the media, I will do the same with regards to by proxy. Just as your project, by proxy, is everything to you, my soon to be marriage is my future and is something I will not tolerate to be jeopardized because of who I am in the media. Please understand, I only did what I felt I needed because I was upset, and now that we both dealt damaging blows, I'm calling a ceasefire. Blink and I will do an interview soon after January to clear up the misconceptions you made in your article, and I will give you what you want my silence regarding my emotions, thoughts, and opinions to your project. Blink is my stepmother, and I love her. I love my father. I do not want them to be responsible for my actions. If I did breach contract, that was my own actions and not that of my parents, and they should not be liable to be punished for my impulsive behavior. Gypsy Blanchard. Okay, now while most of us are no fan of Fancy and by proxy, Gypsy does speak some truth usually whenever she's firing back at Fancy. But what was hilarious to me is whenever she said, "We've both dealt damaging blows and I'm calling a ceasefire." Remember when she tried that with Ryan, y'all? Not long before releasing his personal medical information. And y'all know I'm no fan of Ryan either, but two wrongs never ever make a right. It's never okay to justify wrong actions by yourself by saying, "Well, I had to react," in my opinion. And there's another long email to Fancy right after that from Gypsy again, but I've read it before several times, so I'm just going to skip that one. Okay, so we've got another one to Fancy, and I think I've read this one before too, but this one's way more interesting and it has some juicy details in it. So I'm going to go ahead and read that again. Blank, I'm sure that said Francesca. I'm really disappointed with this recent In Touch article. That was uncalled for. That was extra drama that you have created. Blank is upset. I'm upset. My parents are upset with you in this article. May I ask what was the point of doing that article? What was the importance? That to me seemed like a personal attack on my relationship, and I feel very disrespected and hurt. I have cussed you out before for speaking on things you shouldn't, and this is not a step closer to gaining my trust. But you have just sealed my opinion about you. I don't trust you and I never will. Keep me and my husband's name out of your mouth. If you forget, I'm the one the media wants interviews with. It's my name whose coattails you're writing on. I'm a loose cannon, and I don't think you want to start a media war with me. You're no friend to me. I agree with everything that Blank Blank said about you. I don't agree with her about Christy, as you were just a bug in her ear, and she's a kind, good-hearted woman who wants the best for me, and you take advantage of her kindness by misguiding her. You are a nobody trying to make a career off my tragic life. I think you dislike Blank because he calls you on your bullshit and sees through you just as I do. I apologize to you for my previous outbursts, but this I will not apologize for defending my personal life as it is no concern to you or the media, and no one needed to know about my wedding in January until when Blank and I decided to make a joint interview together after the fact. How do you think Blank family feels reading that In Touch article? How do you think he feels? How do you think I feel reading that Bash Blank article? All that man has ever done is love me, care about my sanity, and want a positive life for me and for us as a couple. And he does not deserve to be treated like he is a hinder to my life. You are simply so wrapped up in fame, you can't see we are people with feeling and emotions. You spoke for my parents, which is blank tells me you're so far off base in this case. They love blank, they trust blank, and they are more than just okay about the ceremony in January. Sure, they might feel it's preferred to wait. However, I know for a fact blank is a savings account for our real wedding when I'm released. Do you honestly think a man that holds me so dear would ever settle for just a prison wedding? As if he brought me a Tiffany's ring. This ain't no average blank who is not gonna let me settle, who is not gonna let me have the whole shebang. Blank and I are already planning our wedding when I'm free. This ceremony is about the very real commitment that we have started from day one. And when we decided to have a completely monogamous relationship while I am still in DOC. Your article made me seem like I was some love struck, impulsive chick and blank who is a hinder to my life. When you put that I always say we or he says we, well, no shit. We're a couple. Of course, our decisions are first talked about as individuals, and then we make a joint decision as a couple. I am not leading, nor is he. We make our choices together. No one is in more control than the other. We are equally part of this relationship. We are getting married in January, despite your unimportant opinion, and he and I are still not going to support your series, nor be your dog and pony show. So take your pathetic 15 minutes of fame on the account of putting me under stress and hardship. You have crossed the line for the last time. Keep my relationship out of your mouth, you fucking cunt. I don't want your money from your series. I don't want any more help from you with regards to the media. Consider us done, both as a partnership and personal. Let me ask you this. Did you ever even send me an email to check on my emotional state after the episode of Killer Couples? Oh, man. There's so much contradictions in there, it's hilarious. Like I said, Fancy does a lot of wrong things, but at the same time, I don't believe half of what Gypsy was saying. I don't think the article was probably actually really a shock to her. Christy probably told her that they authorized it, and then whenever it didn't go well and Ken broke up with her over it, all of a sudden, Gypsy wasn't on board because 'cause we've seen her do that over and over and over. Okay, then we have Fancy responding to Gypsy's nonsense, and she says, "Gypsy, I am incredibly upset by you and Blank's response to the recent article In Touch did with me and Blank, my co-creator and co-writer on this project. To address your concerns, I feel the best thing is to break down piece by piece. You asked me what the point of the article was. The article was done in response to something Blank and the Blank supporters did. They released a private statement I made to someone I thought was my friend regarding Blank, first in their horrible group, and then they sent it to him with your and his picture that had been put out on social for months, hit the media when I spoke kindly about all of you, and then they finally published it on E! News Twitter page and In Touch Twitter page, and God knows where else. So yeah, Fancy was being messy and caused a problem. The message was taken totally out of context, and I explained that both Blink and Christy and what it was in reference to was actually the constant bashing, harassment, and bullying that Blink puts me, my team, your mom and dad, Blink, and anyone else who has crossed your path on a daily basis. She has threatened to ruin all of our lives, including Blink and your parents, and that is exactly what she is setting out to do. She has tried to claim that Christy, me, Blink, and the team are all in cahoots to and do things to her every day, and we have done no things to her. Not even one except support you. What I was stating was that I didn't understand why she is constantly harassing and bashing all of us. In that statement, I said we didn't like Blink either, and the pictures are strange. That was not in any way indicating that Blink or your dad felt that way about Blink. It was a private message, and I'm allowed to feel that way, and that sentiment about him is shared by many, including Dr. Phil and Nancy Grace, who have made horrible statements about him. I do not know Blink personally. I can only speak on the limited interactions we have had, and they have not been great. I have expressed concerns to him, you, and Blink on numerous occasions. In fact, I wrote you a very heartfelt letter about my thoughts and concerns for you as someone who cares about you very much. I also had a lengthy conversation with Blink about it at the time, too, in which he stated it didn't even matter to him if your parents attended your wedding, it was happening anyway. That statement was never to be put out in the public and was from a while back. I've done nothing but speak well of Blank in the past. I've tried to be kind and supportive, even though I think there are very real, serious concerns about the relationship progress. As Blink and I stated in the article, I called the person who said this out for saying terrible things about us to Blank while simultaneously saying to me she was a POS and lowlife. And she then turned out and released only that one statement. If it had never gone public on Twitter for hundreds of thousands of people to see, I would have never done anything about it and just continued to ignore blank as I have done every day for months. But with it being out there, and the last thing any of us wanted was for that to be in the press and ran all over with. So Blank and I chose to do an article with a trusted source. That article did not in any way attack or bash Blank. It voiced concerns for the rush to marry while in prison and how upsetting it was for all of us who care about you to once again have something ripped away from you. Yeah, she goes on for a couple more paragraphs, but yeah. Okay, and I think this is to from Gypsy to Fancy again because I've heard Fancy talk about this email. And Gypsy says, "Hey, darling, heard about the new rumor. Aw, how sweet of you to say I'm Playboy material. But sad to say that no call from the Playboy mansion has come for me. But I'm flattered by y'all think I'm beautiful enough with my C cup breasts, big ass, and hourglass figure hidden in prison khakis. Better luck next time at the cheap shots, hun. Sticks and stones. Smile. Kiss my big sexy southern ass. XOXO." Oh man, that reminds me of her keep making content clap back that she quickly turned around on with a rebrand to be anti-bullying. And then we have an email to Gypsy from one of her aunts. I don't know if this is one of Dee Dee's sisters or one of Rod's. Maybe we'll find out in the email. I haven't read it yet. It says, "Love you. Yes, it seems Blank has taken every video and podcast she has done about you offline to do this documentary she is working on for her new TV network. That this is what I think about all of what Blank is doing. There would be nothing good come from doing bad things, Gypsy. You know this all too well. Hopefully, nothing good will come from that monster trying to make money off your life. Call me soon. I am home working this week, so if I am not on an online meeting, I can talk. It's going to be okay. We always knew we would have problems with Blank. It is just going to take you and Blank getting restraining orders against Blank and Blank to begin the process of getting them to leave you alone. I still do not trust Blank yet. I believe she is going to want to get back into Fancy's group since this TV network is starting up. Titania is going to want to be part of it for financial reasons. That's how I feel about her. It's not going to be easy when you get out. I know you know that. I pray to God that you know there are people that only want the best for you. My feelings are that the devil will always try to make a person have doubts and fears. Put your faith in God, baby girl. I know I have. He has this, and you. I want you and Blink to find a church when you get out to get the spiritual guidance that I believe both of you will need when you get home. It's going to be okay. I have faith that God will take care of you. Remember to say your prayers. Talk to Him. I know that He listens. I pray every day, usually several times a day. It took me a long enough time to understand that prayers are cleansing to my soul and spirit. In my darkest moments, prayer is what got me through. I love you, Ladybug. Call soon. Love, Aunt Blank. And there's another one from an aunt. It says, "I read something today and thought you would like it too. Never say mean words out of anger. Your anger will pass. Your mean words can scar a person for life. So use kind words or be silent." It was on Facebook, and after we talked today, I thought of you and how you are learning to deal with being a new wife. This is something I think we could all learn. I love you, baby girl. Talk to you soon, Aunt Blank. Oh man. I wonder who Gypsy was being mean to at that particular moment. Apparently Ryan, since she mentioned being a wife. Now, I'm not sure who Gypsy's responding to here. It might be the aunt. I'm not sure. Here's what she's got to say. "Well, 18 more days until I'm off restriction. This is painful. Geez. Welp, I've made quite a mess of shit. I'm pissed. Someone posted my email and now it's spreading like wildfire. I've tried rectifying the situation, but I'm sure by now it's all over and it's my fault. I should not have been so quick to act and share. Blank and I are fine after some much needed visiting time together. This was the biggest argument he and I ever had, and I went to Blank because it was all fresh and I was upset and shared my thoughts of annulment. Blank is in the right to have been upset that I talked to Blank for nearly 2 hours. He doesn't have anything to worry about in terms of our marriage being threatened by him, but I do consider Blank to be this forbidden fruit of sorts. He has a friend, but we have this sexual attraction that Blank knows is there. Ultimately, I made a commitment and I should not have gone to the extreme of throwing divorce as an option. I had a moment of regret and that is it. It snowballed out of control. Everyone is up in a teasy, though. The dust needs to settle. My dad sent Blank some words of advice that supports us both. I haven't received an email from mom yet on how she is reacting to us staying together. I'm sure it's confusing, but me and my brother are so similar when it comes to relationships. She knows that we are very indecisive. Blank had Blank on speed dial ready to get his marriage annulled to the point I actually wonder if she likes Blank at all. All I'm saying is no one but blank mom had held me to my vows and was like, marriage is hard, but breaking someone's heart because you want to go play around is not cool. She didn't say that in so many words, but you could tell she wasn't of the same mind as blank. I feel like Blank should have called Blank or vice versa and had a one on one talk, not the mom's text and conversate as if we were teenagers and he just got me knocked up. Blank failed to man up and call Blank and share his side. I acted on impulse and emailed like 5 people in my contact list that I'm getting an annulment, and one of those shared it. Fast forward a few days, and Blink shows up here after I told him don't come for our weekend visit that we had planned, but I basically wanted space. And he takes my hand and we talk one on one. Within seconds, we are ourselves talking and laughing and being our goofy selves together. And that is how that all went down. All I can say is not argument, is staying between him and God because clearly I can't voice my brief thoughts because everyone has an opinion and they share and I need someone unbiased to give advice, like a therapist. Anyway, how are you? How's things in general? So here's a weird one I've never seen before. I don't know who this is about exactly or who. So it says it's from Gypsy clearly. Says I need to set boundaries with blank. She hurt my feelings yesterday fussing me for asking my jean size in a post. She called it like a kid. I understand that she looks out for my best interest, but she insulted me in the process and it hurt. I cried all night because I feel judged. So I asked Blank to take everything down. Clearly, I sound like a kid at 32 because I asked a question to friends. I knew she would understand my situation because they would not be friends otherwise. I called Blink. Even she didn't see the harm. I put my measurements out there. So what? I'm coming out of prison after 8.5 years. And I think, given that reason, it is understandable. Had I done that at home? Sure, yes, that would be weird. But I'm coming out of prison, and in here, we don't have numbered sizes. And she also fussed Blink, who actually didn't write it for me. I had a friend who I won't throw under the bus do it for me. That's weird. I don't really understand what's going on there cuz asking given your measurements and asking what your jean size would be with these measurements when you're in prison doesn't seem that weird to me. I assume that the khakis have their own sizing system that's different from standardized brands. Not that they're all that standardized, but you know what I mean? So that's not that weird. But even Gypsy says had I done that and be home, sure, yes, that would be weird, but I'm coming. Oh, okay, I understand. They think that she's put her measurements out there to try and show off that hourglass figure she's always talking about. They're like, "Why are you trying to get attention?" I get it now. It took me a minute there to understand what the problem was. How strange. What do y'all think about that? It does seem like there are a few times where Christy tried to rein Gypsy in. Like whenever she was talking about going to the Chiefs game right after getting released, Christy did tell her in an email that she thought that was ridiculous and that she needs to get out of Missouri and go straight for Louisiana. So it sounds like maybe here Christy also was like, don't put your measurements out there. That's weird. Okay, so there is a collection of emails in this screenshot and I don't know who they're all to and from. It's clear the ones that are from Gypsy, but the others I don't know. This one, I'm not sure. It could be from Fancy, but I don't know. So it says it's incoming to Gypsy. Clearly, it says, "Hey." So Blank took a screenshot of a reporter from InTouch asking me for comment about Blank Cedar's Instagram posts. I was thinking you could comment for me. What do you think? It would be a good way to set the record straight about the annulment rumors and how crazy this Blank guy is. Blank is sending Blank the screenshot now. If they ask about the annulment email from me, can explain that I was a little overwhelmed with the reality of being newly married and we had hit a rough moment and we worked through it. The email should have never been shared by whom it was I sent it. Oh, so that is from Gypsy. My bad. And then this one I think is from Gypsy. I don't know. It says, "This is Blank Cedar's second message to me. April 28th, 3:36 p.m. Your family's harassment. All I did was send you one message of report. I'm not sure why you are so angry or why your family is now sending me harassing messages, but it is completely unwarranted. I was respectful and supportive in my message, and I don't appreciate the way in which you and your family are behaving. Maybe you are doing this for attention since you're about to be released, but don't involve me in your. And then it cuts off. And then I think this is outbound from Gypsy again. It says, "This is a copy of what I sent to Blank Blank the same night Blank sent him that Instagram message. I don't know who you are or why you chose me to try and find your 15 minutes of fame. I have friends everywhere, and I know what lies you've told online. I am a married woman, and my husband's name is Blank. We do not appreciate crazy people like you spreading lies about me. People like you disgust me, trying to prey on the vulnerable. Well, let me tell you something. I may look cute, but I have a smart ass mouth, and I'm not afraid to tell you to go fuck yourself." There's another line, but it's cut off. And then outbound from Gypsy again says, "Blink and I bought tickets to see the Chiefs Bengals game on December 31st. We have great seats in the sixth row. I am super excited." Smiley. And then she emails her aunt again, says, "Hey, Aunt Blink. Blink let me know he texted you. I don't think he realized y'all had not spoken by phone yet. LOL. The call with Blink and the lawyer went good. Blink told us we need to start coming up with things we want to do to fill the 10 hours. I saw there is a Chiefs versus Bengals game in KC on the 31st, so I emailed my dad and asked if he would be comfortable sending Blink the money from my account to purchase our tickets early. Our seats would cost 600, but hey, it would." And then it's cut off. Then we got another outbound from Gypsy. It says, "Some crazy shit going on. If you or anyone else happens to see a guy by the name blank blank claim online, Instagram to be specific, to have been communicating with me, it is not true. This guy is a fame seeker who has been making shit up for attention. Blank emailed me tonight and he let me know that he saw online that a guy who I guess was on season of The Bachelor and was eliminated week one, named blank blank, was making comments 14 hours ago saying he is talking to me and we are a romantic thing and that he is going to be visiting soon. I'm like, no, not at all. Then, not 20 minutes after me and Blank got off the phone, this guy is now a contact in my tablet. So I rushed to the phone again and called Blank Blank, created an Instagram account, sent him a little message that, as you can imagine, wasn't pretty, and reported his comment for false information. And I sent this guy an email that basically says, "People like him disgust me. Crazy people." He knows I am married to Blink. When he added me, I sent him an email saying that I do not know who he is, but that I am married to Blink and I don't appreciate him telling lies about me. He saw it and I asked him to stop re adding himself to my contacts. I told him I am still married and my friends are telling the truth. He then stopped re adding himself and has not sent another email. And I think this is from the aunt. "Oh, girl, that Blank person is a douchebag, according to Blink, after he saw the fool's picture. LOL. Oh, yes. That fool is saying he is on your visitors list and that you two are emailing each other. All I can say is block this idiot. Report him to whoever you need to make damn sure any of his emails did not get through. Blank messaged him today and he blocked her, so she wants me to be quiet and watch what he says. He is a complete douchebag. I have to agree with Blank on this one. He posts pictures of himself in his underwear. He is obviously trying to make a name for himself and dropping your name to do it. Someone commented telling him you're married and he said you were divorced. Do me one favor, I beg you please. Do not ever send out an email saying anything about your relationship with Blank. Disgusting monsters like this Blank fool and Blank won't run with it to make the news. People like that only want to get attention, saying they know the real deal when they really know nothing at all. When no one is talking but them, that is all people have to listen to, if that makes sense. I'm going to watch what he posts and try to keep my mouth shut and my fingers off the keyboard and not respond. No promises on how that works out, though. LOL. I am quick to defend you and always will be that way. Blank has gotten so good at not responding. She's tried to teach me to do the same, and usually I do good, but there are times I read or hear that I lose it and I respond. Men like him will upset Blank. Reassure Blank that you are not communicating with the douchebag. Also, do not respond to the douchebag. Block him in every way you can. He really posted that he is coming to visit you. LOL. Now, I know that you would never put him on your visitor list, but if you have emailed him, don't do it anymore. If you're able to block him the way you have Blank and all the other fools, do it now. That fool is wanting attention, and that is all. He actually argued with someone that posted that you were married and said Blank said you got divorced. That is why I asked you not to email anything to anyone about your relationship with Blank. I promise I will always listen to you vent. The majority of these people that say that they love you are your friend only want to be able to get likes and comments in response to being friends with you and having breaking news. I hope you understand that I'm not telling you what to do. You are an adult, but when it comes to telling people what you do not know how your relationship is going, please know they are going to run to the media outlet or any social media site to report breaking news from their best friend, Gypsy Rose. I've seen them do it, and it is so upsetting to me. I can only imagine how that makes Blank feel. I love you. I'm keeping an eye on the fool. Call soon. Love you. And that's funny because it sounds like she suspects that Gypsy probably is emailing him when she says, now listen, if you emailed him, don't do it anymore. Block the fool. I think everyone who knows Gypsy, even when they try and excuse her, knows how she really is. What do y'all think? Okay, and then we got outgoing from Gypsy. She says, she is mad at me because I told it to her straight, and now she is mad at me, as well as anyone who wanted her to stop posting so much. Me, you, blank, blank, we were all trying to be nice about it, and finally I sent her an email that was sweet, but told her I needed her to stop speaking for me, and now she puts it all on me, like I ask her to post every little thing when it's her that can't stop posting. I'm not liking this at all. Oh, it would be so hilarious to be able to sort the emails actually inbound and outbound by people and by timestamp as well. Yeah. Okay. This says, Gypsy, I have not seen Blink just come right out and ask for her money except the t shirts and in October with your new clothes. If people give her money without her asking, that is on them. I do wish she would not talk about needing things or problems on pages affiliated with you in any way. She may not even ask outright for money. We all have times in our lives where we need money or are having a hard time. There are people that say they are having a hard time financially, but have said it for so long that they don't even realize they're doing it anymore. If someone chooses to give her money because of something they read on her own Facebook page, TikTok, or any other social media that is hers alone, again, that is on them. When money is sent because of info and pages with your name and title, then people can make that something negative about you. That is my concern. Do not trust everything you hear while still in there. People only want to gain your trust and get close to you because of who you are. They are not real friends. I have talked to Blink about oversharing on social media. I told her that the documentary is being done and that where there is new updates, and that is where the new updates will come from and nowhere else. I told her that I have offered to sign an NDA. My main concern, even over the documentary, is you. I do not want to see you in any trouble in there because of something you have no control over out here. Blank and Blink will send you all the money you need. I will send some if you can't get in touch with them. There should be no reason you need money and have anyone ask strangers for it. Gypsy, that is what Dee Dee did for so long, using you to get it. That is what some people will automatically go to when anyone asks for money on social media where your name is mentioned, even though you don't know it's happening. There's nothing you can do to stop that. That is what Blink needs to understand. Love and sending you prayers. So I thought that one was interesting because it's been pointed out to Gypsy over and over, apparently, even while she was still in prison, that she keeps trying to do the same thing that Dee Dee did. And she needs to stop it because it takes away from her whole narrative that she had to stabby stab Dee Dee over it. It's so crazy. I don't understand why Gypsy can't see that, but I don't understand why Gypsy does most of the stuff she does, y'all. I know none of us do. Her impulsivity and backwards thinking is at a level that most of us with any level of intelligence and common sense just can't understand. Well, that is the end of that particular grouping. Again, thank you to Little Frodo on Reddit for pulling out those interesting ones there. The next ones are going to be some reading about the Bikers Against Child Abuse people telling Gypsy that they were done with her. Basically, they didn't see her trying to improve herself at all. I know a few other people have given commentary and read those already, but as usual, I want to give my thoughts on it, y'all. So we'll go out with a little palate cleanser here. I'm going to go feed Coolio and Biggie and hope everyone's having a good day. Hey friends, we've got another lily freshly bloomed. I love how they always look like they're glowing that first day. And the inside looks like it's full of water. They're so beautiful. Okay, Coolio and Biggie are hungry. Hey bubbies. Oh, Coolio is. Where's Biggie at? Biggie Smalls, Biggie Smalls, Biggie Smalls. Oh, there he is. I just had to summon him, y'all. I was getting a little worried for a minute. Deer come and drink out of this trough, and I was hoping that they didn't get swallowed. But there they are. I think Coolio is actually bigger than Biggie. I probably should have switched those names up, but oh well.